Only 5 teams remain unbeaten over the Championship as Leicester remain perfect. Sitting top of the table just around the corner though are Norwich over their shoulders. Can they catch them this coming weekend? We're going to take a little look next. Number 5 in this year's championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button back and see all things championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all hear boys under one rooski. That's right, Norwich. Look, the team to avoid right now. They're free scoring, of course, but Leicester City are tip at the top of the table with a 100% record so far. Will they extend that heading into the international break, or will they come a cropper this coming weekend? We'll take a little look in a second. A big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. But let's, of course, get into the deep end, of course, this coming weekend. All right, then, folks, here we go. Into the championship we go. And a quick recap of my picks, your picks, and, of course, building up for another weekend of action. Let's go, then. Hull City against Bristol City, and they're all square there. Good point on the road for Bristol City, I'd imagine, on that one. Birmingham City kept up their fantastic start to the season. 2-1 win over Plymouth Argyle. 2-0 win in my eyes. Cardiff City, 2-1 winners over Sheffield Wednesday. I went with the 1-0 win on that one. Meanwhile, Coventry stuttered against Sunderland in the Tony Mowbray derby. 0-0 it was. 2-1 win in my eyes. Meanwhile, Millwall got themselves up and running with a 1-0 win over Stoke. I got the one spot on. Southampton 2-1 winners over QPR. I went with the 3-0 myself. Huddersfield got smashed by Norwich, of course, in the Wagner derby. 4-0 that one. Of course, grim times ahead for Huddersfield Town. Ipswich lost their first game in a long, long time in a 7-0 through against Leeds United, 4-3 in the end. Preston, though, continued their start. 2-1 win over Swansea, 1-0 win in my eyes. Leicester City, 2-1 winners over Rotherham. Ain't too shabby there, are they? Of course, Rotherham in a bit of trouble as well. West Brom, 4-2 winners over Middlesbrough. I'm over the 2-1. And, of course, the result of the weekend was at Vicarage Road. 1-0 winners for Blackburn Rovers over the old Hornets then. Quick look at the table. As you can see, Leicester are tip at the top of the table. Norwich are in second. The Brummies, the Saints, the Nobbers, and, of course, the Tracker Boys make the top 6. Rovers just outside in 9th. Huddersfield, Borough, and Wednesday going down, of course. That's, of course, my stuff right there. Of course, we have the Super Brew, and I'm going to bring it up right here, right now. So stand with me if you are new and have never done the Super Brew or unfamiliar with it. The link is on the screen there. cut/EFL Champ. Get in it, get amongst it, and see if you can out-predict me, the Prediction King, of course. So let's, of course, gear up. What am I doing? Let's get ready and showcase how you and I got on this past weekend. So jumping into the vortex, here we go. I'm bringing it. There it is. My A game. And of course, we're heading over to the leaderboard right here, right now. Now, this, of course, is this the round one? It is the round one. Of course, the King Slayer, though, this is not the round one. We'll have a look at that one. I'm a little bit rusty here. So, kicking ass this week is the Mexican Sniper up there. 20 points. Stevel up there. Ultra Omamura with 17.5. Kevin, the Gaffer, and Carl Muckian make up the biz. I'm down there, though. Not too shabby for me. Rover Seas picking up 15 points. Probably a big mover. We'll see. This is the top 50 right here. Jacob Ward's flying high up into 8th, which is not good enough, guys. The biggest movers, though, this week in the overall leaderboard, we can see Steffel up 17 spots to number 3. Ultra Omamura up 13 spots to number 4. Kevin up 20. Kevin up to 20. 20 spots to number 7. 39 spots. Big mover is Omar, Mexican Sniper. He's up to 12. Where am I? I'm down. I'm up 21 spots to 32. I'm making a move. Serious stuff right here, right now. The Gaffer, also big moves as well. Big going the other way. I just love Norwich down 36 spots to 47. That's a catastrophe. And the rest. Any other stinkers? I'm sure there are, but don't forget, guys, it is free, 100% free. Get your name in lights and see if you can outpredict me, the Prediction King. That's right, of course. So get in it for the next ones coming at you this coming weekend in a bit of much an action-packed week before the international break. So let's get into it. Of course, and have a look at the first game, which will be Southampton going to Sunderland. One of the early kickoffs. How the hell do they do this? How cruel is this? This is a 7:30 kickoff for me in the US of A. But if you're making a trip from Southampton, this is absolutely crazy. Anyway, played 25 times in 1996. 8 wins for Sunderland, 9 wins for Southampton, 8 draws, of course. The Sunderland's biggest win, 2-0 win, scoring 24 goals in those 25 games, 0.96 goals game ratio. Up against Southampton, their biggest win, 8-0 win. Oh my gosh, 37 goals scored in those 25 games, 1.48 goals game ratio. The Saints, just one defeat past 5 for them, 58% form. Meanwhile, Sunderland, back-to-back games without a loss, 25% form for them over the last 6. Last time around, over at Sunderland, was a 4-0 win for Southampton back in February 2017. It's been a long time, folks. It's actually been a long time since Sunderland won. They last beat Southampton in the Prem as well, back in May 2015. Sunderland are not in cup action this week, I don't think anyway. But no, all eyes on this one. You would imagine the odds coming at you right here are 21 to 10 is your Sunderland, 12 to 5 is your 65 is your away win. I am back in Sunderland here, long way to go, of course. An early kickoff for the Southampton faithful if they're going to be there, nice and early. Next up, we have the Brummies up against Millwall, another early double kickoff right here, right now, over at St Andrews. Played each other 30 times since 1993. This is the Gary Rowett derby. Played 12 wins for Birmingham. We've got 8 wins for Millwall, and we've got 10 draws right now. Birmingham's 6-0 win, their biggest, scoring 51 goals in those 30 games, 1.70 goals a game ratio. Up against Millwall, 3-1 win, their biggest, scoring 35 goals in those 30 games, 1.17 goals game ratio. Of course, 2 wins of the last 6 though for Millwall, 33% form at the minute. Birmingham though, 4 on the bounce, 75% form for them as well. Last time around, the over at St Andrews was a 0-0 draw. Birmingham unbeaten against Millwall over the last 3, picking up a win and a couple of draws. Of course, Birmingham are in cup action, taking on Cardiff, this Catabata Cup business, and expected to beat that one, beat them as well to go through to the next round. Meanwhile, Millwall already out of the cup. The odds here, 30 to 10 is your Birmingham, 12 to 5 is the draw, and 2 to 1 is your away win. Back to Brommies here, 2-0 win for them. They could be top of the table, we'll never know. I'll tell you in a second though. Coventry, they're taking on Watford, of course, coming at you at the Rico. Now these two sides have played each other 28 times in 1993. We've got 8 wins for Coventry, 30 wins for Watford, and we've got 7 draws as well. Coventry, biggest win, 4-0 win, scoring 31 goals in those 28 games, 1.11 goals game ratio. Up against Watford, Valerian Ishmael's boys, 4-0 win, their biggest, 46 goals scored in those 28 games, 1.64 goals game ratio. Watford though, just 1 win to 6, 25% form for them. Could Ishmael be in trouble already? Who knows? Mark Robbins, of course, 50% form for them, and Coventry, 1-2 lost to and drawn to. Heading into this, of course, Coventry are in 12th with 5 points. Watford are in 15th with 4 points. And last time played at the Rico was a 2-2 draw back in March 2023. Coventry are out of the cup, and it appears that Watford are too, as both sides are looking forward to this game and this game alone. 11 to 10 is your Coventry here. 5-2 draw. 23 to 10 is your away win. Tight one here. Going to go with a 2-2 goal fest though. 4 goals in it, but a point apiece. Next up we have Middlesbrough against QPR, and Jacob has dubbed this the game of the weekend. That's right, because it could be the last for bloody Michael Carrick, because heading into the international break, you would see it as prime time to sack your coach. Of course, 24 matches they played each other since 1995, 10 wins apiece and 4 draws as well. 5-1 win, the biggest for Borough, scoring 39 goals in those 24 games, 1.63 goals game ratio. Up against QPR, 5-0 win, their biggest, scoring 39 goals in those 24 games, 1.63 goals game ratio as well. 17% form for QPR, just 1 win in 6. Up against Borough though, 33% form for them, just 1 win in 6. Also a couple of draws knocking around. Last time round at Riverside, 3-1 win it was for Borough back in February 2023. Borough though have cup distractions, of course, against Bolton, a tricky one. They're expected to just about scrape through against them. QPR already out the cup, focusing on this game and this game alone. The odds here, 20 to 13 on your Borough, 14 to 5 is the draw, and 4 to 1 is your away win. I've gone with a 1-0 win for Borough, but of course it could go either way. We'll see about that. Meanwhile, Ipswich up against Cardiff. Of course, can Ipswich bounce back after that 7-goal thriller against Leeds at Portman Road? Played each other 28 times since 2003, 12 wins for Ipswich. We've got 9 wins for Cardiff. We've got 7 draws, of course. Ipswich, though, their biggest win over Cardiff, 3-0 win, scoring 41 goals in those 28 games. 1.46 goals game ratio. Up against Cardiff, 3-1 win, their biggest, 31 goals scored in those 28 games, 1.11 goals game ratio. Cardiff currently find themselves in 17th spot with 4 points on the board, 50% form for them right now, winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 2. Ipswich, 6th spot in the table right now, 9 points on the board. Just 1 defeat in 6 games, 75% form for them. Heading into this last round, though, over at Portman Road back in February 2018 in the Championship. It was a Cardiff win, 1-0 win. In fact, they're unbeaten against Ipswich over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws as well. Ipswich taking on Reading in the Cup this weekend. Cardiff taking on Birmingham as well. So both sides in Cup action. The odds right here, right now, we've got Ipswich 64 on for the victory, 14 to 5 is the draw, 50 to 4 is your away win. Back in, of course, the track, the boys here with a 2-0 win for them over Cardiff to, of course, get back to winning ways. Leeds United against Sheffield Wednesday. Has it turned around for Leeds? Will they end this week with, of course, all the players they need? 35 times they played each other since 2003. 13 wins for Leeds, 11 wins for Sheffield Wednesday. And we've got 11 draws, of course. Biggest win for Leeds, 3-0 win. Scoring 46 goals in total over the course of the 35 games, 1.31 goals game ratio. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday, their biggest win, 6-0 wins, scoring 48 goals in those 35, 1.37 goals game ratio. As this go could be also on the sacking, first name to be sacked. 17% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6. Meanwhile, Leeds, just 1 defeat of the past 6, 67% form for them as well heading into this. Last time around at Ellen Road, it was a 2-0 win for Sheffield Wednesday back in January 2020. This week, of course, Wednesday taking on Mansfield in the Cup. Leeds going to Salford as well to keep themselves busy this week. 29 on is, of course, your Leeds for the victory. 7-2 is your draw. 11-2 is your away win here. 3-0 win for me for Leeds. Back to winning ways. And, of course, or back-to-back wins, should I say, heading into the international break. Leicester City against Hull City. Bit of a zinger at the top of the table, this one. Played each other 18 times in 2005. We've got 8 wins for Leicester, 6 for Hull, 4 draws. Of course, Leicester, though, 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 28 goals in those 18 games. 1.56 goals game ratio heading into this. Of course, Hull City, their biggest win, 2-0 win, scoring just 23 goals in those 18. 1.28 goals game ratio, but they come into this on 50% form, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Leicester, 5 wins on the bounce, 83% form for them heading into this also. Last time around over at the King Power, it was a 3-1 win for Leicester back in March 2017. That was in the Prem de la Prem. Leicester taking on Tranmere this weekend in the Cup. Hull already out following their defeat in the first round. The odds right here right now, we've got Leicester 5-3 on for the victory, 3-1 to the draw, 4-1 is your away win. That's Leicester. Going to bank on the home side here with a narrow 2-1 win to take it to the house. Next up, we have Plymouth Argyle against Blackburn Rovers, the game of the weekend. I will be here with a watch along, so hopefully you can join me too. It's over at Home Park, and of course Schumacher against JDT in the dugout. Played each other twice since 2017. 1 win for Plymouth, 1 draw, nothing for Rovers. Of course, Plymouth have scored their biggest win, their only win, 2-0 win. They scored 3 goals compared to which work out around about 1.50 goals game heading into this. Rovers, though, we've not won in recent times, just 1 goal scored, 0.50 goals game ratio. We come into this on 58% form for them, just 1 defeat past 6. Up against Plymouth, though, 42% form for them right now, 2 wins in the last 6 games. Last time around over at Plymouth, it was a 2-0 win for Plymouth back in February 2018. Of course, Plymouth taking on Crystal Palace this week in another home match. As for Rovers, another away game, which will make it 2 for 3 in a row for Rovers taking on Harrogate in the Cup. Can we get past that? We'll have to wait and see. The odds, though, for this game, Plymouth are 8-5 for the victory, 31-20 is your Rovers, and 12-5 is the draw. I am going to go with the Rovers victory here, 2-1 win for us. I think that our tails are going to be up from that Watford game. I just hope we have a good transfer window and a good week in the Cup to add to the mix. Rotherham United up against Norwich, of course, down at New York Stadium. Played each other 18 times since 2001. We got 1 win for Rotherham, 9 wins for Norwich, and 8 draws right now. Rotherham, their biggest win, 2-1 win, scoring 19 goals in those 18 games, 1.06 goals game ratio. Up against Wagner, who's been free scoring right now, 3-1 win, their biggest, 31 goals scored in those 18 games, 1.72 goals game ratio. Of course, Wagner unbeaten, of course, 92% form for them, winning 5 of the last 6. Rotherham with Matty Taylor at the dugout, 42% form for them, winning twice at the last 6 games. Last round at the New York Stadium, 2-1 win. It was for Norwich back in November 2022. Norwich taking on Bristol City in the Cup this weekend on the road. Rotherham also on the road against Stoke at the Bet365. Both expected to lose. I think Bristol City are going to nick this one. They could do according to the bookies. Anyway, the odds right here, right now, we've got 10-3 is your Rotherham. We've got 4-3 on is your Norwich. 11-4 is the draw. We are going big once again with Norwich. 3-0 win. And of course, big movements up the table. They could even be top. Then we got Stoke City up against Preston and North End coming at the Bet365 stadium. Played each other 23 times since 2002. We've got 5 wins for Stoke, 10 for Preston, and 8 draws. Of course, big win for Stoke. 2-0 win, scoring 22 goals in those 23 games, 0.96 goals game ratio. Up against North End, 3-0 win, their biggest, scoring 31 goals in those 23 games, 1.35 goals game ratio. Of course, it is the Alex Neil derby, 50% form for Stoke right now, 1-3 and lost 3 up against Ryan Lowe's boys. 3 wins on the bounce, 58% form for them right now. Of course, last round in Stoke, it was a 1-0 win for Preston. And in fact, the last time the home side won was when Preston beat Stoke at Deepdale back in August 2019. Stoke taking on Rotherham in the Cup. Preston already out, of course, after their loss to Salford on penalties. Meanwhile, the odds right here right now, we've got even Stevens to Stoke. 14-5 is your Preston. We've got 12-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Stoke, bounce back ability, and of course, move up the table. They go. Swansea City up against Bristol City coming at you in Wales. So one another, the early kickoffs this coming weekend. weekend. Played each other 23 times since 2003. We've got 7 wins for Swansea, 8 for Bristol City, 8 draws, of course. Swansea, though, 50% form for them right now. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2. Their biggest win over Bristol City, 7-1 win, scoring 23 goals in those 23 games. That's a goal a game average. Bristol City, though, 67% form for them, just 1 defeat past 6. 4-1 win, their biggest, scoring 20 goals in those 23 games. 0.87 goals game ratio heading into this match. Last time around in Wales, it was a 2-0 win for Swansea back in March 2023. Swansea taking on Bournemouth in the Cup this week, of course, and Bristol City taking on Norwich also in the Cup. Both sides expected to, well, Norwich, Swansea expected to lose. Bristol City expected to come out with a victory. 11-10 is your Swansea, 12-5 is your away win, 12-5 is the draw as well. Tight here, 2-2, early kickoff, point split right down the middle. West Bromwich Albion up against Huddersfield Town, coming at the Hawthorns. Now, these two sides have played each other 21 times since 1995. We've got 6 wins for the Baggies, we've got 10 wins for the Terriers, and we've got 5 draws, of course. West Brom, 3-0 win, their biggest, scoring 25 goals in those 21 games, 1.19 goals game ratio, up against, of course, Huddersfield, managed by Neil Warnock. 4-1 win, their biggest, 26 goals scored in the 21 games, 1.24 goals game ratio. Without a win, though, Warnock, 25% form for them right now. Carlos Cobahan, though, unbeaten with his Baggy side, 3 games, that is 42% form for them, winning 2 and drawing 1. Last time around at the Hawthorns, it was a 1-0 win for West Brom. Of course, West Brom are not in the Cup. Neither are Huddersfield Town. Of course, West Brom crashing out to Stoke. And, of course, Huddersfield crashing out to Borough. Most recently, the odds right here are now 10-7 on is your West Brom, 14-5 is your 50-4 is your away. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for the Baggies here. And I think that completes my set, guys. Of course, take a little snapshot of that to see if you like it and see if you can out-predict me, the prediction king. Of course, if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Leicester, it'll be Norwich, it'll be Birmingham, Ipswich, West Brom, and Southampton in a very, very jam-packed early table as we head into the international break. And, of course, going down, Rotherham, Huddersfield, and Sheffield Wednesday. That, my friends, is my picks. That is League One. Of course, make sure you get your own picks in as well, as we look forward to coming back from the international break. Until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. We'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that is. But until then, we're done.